Let's add a new scene. Then inside it, add a kinematic body 2D. I will rename it to enemy. Now let's add collision to it. And in the properties panel, let's give it a shape. Now let's add a sprite. Once this is completed, just give a texture to it. Make the shape proper and save it. Now this is completed. Now let's add a script to our enemy. First, let's define some variables. First would be the speed, and I will give it a little bit less than our player. Next would be, one second. Next would be velocity. It will be a vector 2. For initially it will be 0. Next it will be direction. It will also be a vector 2. Next it will be distance. The distance would be between player and the enemy. And finally target, it will be the target node, which is the player node. First we will create a ready function. This ready function will only run once when the game starts. Now inside the ready function, I will give target variable the value of our player node. So write find parent, which will be our main, which is we will going to be creating in few minutes. Now where get node, and the node's name will be player. Once this is completed, we will create the main function physics process. Inside it, we will write distance. Where distance would be between enemy AI and the player. So we'll write self global position dot distance to target global position. This is completed. Now let's write direction. Direction equals target dot global position, which is the target position, global position in the main scene, minus self global position, which is the enemy AI's global position. We are writing this because we want to get the direction of player relative to the enemy, not related to the main scene. That is why we are minusing it by the enemy's global position. We will normalize it to avoid any unwanted behaviors. Finally we will write velocity, lerp velocity direction into speed, and we delta multiplied by some number. In here we are just changing the value of velocity to direction into speed, and the time taken to change the value is delta into 30. And finally we will pass the velocity as a parameter in move and slide function. Now let's create our main scene where we will be adding enemy and player. Create a node 2D, which would be a wrapper, and I name it main. Now let's add our player scene and enemy scene. Player scene and enemy. Now enemy and player are both same color, so let's change the color of enemy so it will be little bit different from our player. I will go into properties of sprite, and in the self modulate tab I will change its color. Now it's look little bit different from our player. Now let's run it. Before running it, you have to configure it. Go into project settings, run section, and select the main scene. Again project settings, run section, and select the main scene. Now this is completed. As you can see, the player is following us. Now let's add some more behavior to our player. It is working nicely. Now the behaviors that we are going to add depends on the distance between us and player and the enemy AI. For suppose if the distance is pretty large, example 200, it will follow the player. If it is less than a value, for example 150, it will go in the opposite direction, which means that if player gets too close to the enemy, it will create distance between player and itself, so that there will be distance for enemy to attack. And if both of the conditions are not satisfied, the our player enemy AI will just stop there. Now let's run it and see what happens. As you can see, our enemy AI stops after it is reached certain distance. If we are too close to it, it moves behind to maintain the distance, and it provides us with a very nice behavior. Now the enemy AI is completed. Now let's create bullets, add a simple sprite, name it bullet, and also give it a texture. And if you want, you can scale it to your defined size. I am saving it, but before it I will name it bullet. Now let's save it. The code for the bullet is very basic. You just have to define speed, and in the physics process function you just have to change the position, and also keep in mind that speed should be higher than player's speed. Now here position plus equals vector 2, and inside it we will write speed into delta so that it is sync with FPS. That is why we are multiplying it by delta dot rotated rotation. Let's add a new node known as visibility notifier. It is used for optimization to remove the node when it is not wanted. We will call out a signal called as screen exited, and we will write the queue-free function to delete the bullet when it exits the screen. To create gun, first we will add node2d as a wrapper. We will name it as gun container. Next we will add sprite node. Then we will add position 2d node, which will be the spawn point for our bullet. We will give it a little bit of distance from our player, let's say 70 or 80 in x-axis. Then we will add texture to our sprite, and also give it a little bit of offset, and also little bit scale it for so that it will look little bigger. Now let's add some variables. First is rot, and this will be a vector 2. Next is our gun container node, and we have to just link it inside our code, and for linking it we will write on ready var gun container and equal to gun get node, and just select the gun container option. It is just linking it to our scene, all the nodes. Now let's give value to our rot variable, that is get global mouse position related to our position, so that we can get its rotation by just adding an angle function. Rot dot angle will give us the rotation. This is the basic formula of getting the aim rotation. Let's save it and run it. As you can see, it is moving. Oh, we have just done a mistake. We have forgot to add the rotation. Let's add it. Let's run it. Nice. Now finally let's create bullets so that it can shoot our enemy. For that, first we will create a timer, naming it gun timer. we will change its properties. First it will be wait for 0.2 second, and it will be one shot means when we say it will, the timer will start, not the engine. Now let's add the variables var muzzle, and this will be the position 2D. We are just referencing it to muzzle variable position 2D. Next will be gun timer. This will be the gun timer node that we just created, and we will just reference it to the gun timer variable. And finally bullet scene, we will use preload function to load it from our file system. Just go in file system and drag and drop it between those brackets to link it. Now our bullet is also been linked. Now we will create a can shoot variable, and we will make it true, not false, true. And why we are doing this, we are creating a logic. When the can shoot function is true, only then the bullet will fire. Once the bullet has been spawned, the can shoot function will become false and the timer will start. Once the timer is finished, the can shoot function will again be true, and depending on the can shoot function we can spawn the bullets. Now first we will make our new key shoot, adding it and adding a left mouse button to it. We will say if our can shoot is true, then call the shooting function. We have not just created it, but we are going to create it in just a minute. Now let's create our shooting function. In this shooting function, first we will create our bullet instance variable. In this bullet instance variable, bullet instance, in this bullet instance variable we will pass bullet variable and just instance it. The work of that bullet variable we have just we have created before is over now. Now the bullet instance will have all the properties of the bullet. We will first change its position to our muzzle's global position, and its rotation, because we want our bullet to rotate depending on our aiming rotation, to our gun container's rotation. And finally we will add it to our main scene by get parent dot add child. Can shoot will be false and gun timer will start. Now once the gun timer is finished, the can shoot will be again true. First let's just check it if it's running properly or not. Okay, so I think we will have an error because I have done some typo mistake there. Yes, we are having an error because instead of add child I have written get node. You have to write get parent dot add child and the name of the variable that you are going to add. Now the bullet will instance when we will click on the left mouse button. So it is instancing, but it is only instancing one time, because after the instance is over the bullet can shoot is false and it is not getting true. Even though the gun timer is over, it is not getting true because we have not written it over here. Get shoot equals gun timer can shoot equals true. Okay, now it will run properly. As you can see, now the guns are also shooting bullets. Now finally, if we want, we can add collisions to our bullet so that it can despawn when it collides with our enemy. For doing that, we will use area 2D node. We'll give it collision, and in the collision shape we will use a raycast 2D as its shape. We will change its rotation to -90 so that it can be in the correct direction, and we will just use the signal. To use the signal, just go in the inspectors. Besides inspector there will be a node section, and inside that there will be the signals that you can use. In the node section of area 2D there is a signal called as body entered, which means that when it is entering inside some body, like enemy, just write their queue free to delete it. And the image for the today's attendance is Katana 0. All the words are capital and there is space between Katana and 0. Thank you.